What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. I make Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be giving examples of why I think Tre Mann is just such an instinctual defender. It's not something that necessarily will pop out on a stat sheet. I mean, in a couple of cases in this video, you'll see that he does get a steal, but overall, it's just his natural instinct, and I think that's going to be huge for us going forward, not only for the rest of this season as we continue to hopefully champion our #1 defense since the All-Star break. I don't know how long that's going to last, but if it is going to last, he's going to be a big part of that. But really just talking about how that's going to translate going into the future, because I think that our team, we have not relied on actual defensive system at all. If you've been watching the Charlotte Hornets for the last few years, there's not a true defensive system. Steve Clifford has really tried, and we saw a little bit of it last year. In the beginning of this year, it didn't really work out too well. But what we're seeing these last few games, especially since the trade deadline, is exactly what Steve Clifford had in mind. Of course, there's some kinks that could be worked out, but I think overall the players are doing a pretty good job of being able to mimic what he is telling them. And I think Tre Mann probably is one of the better examples of that. And some of that can be because he just got here. So this is Charlotte to him. This isn't anything different as opposed to guys like Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller. Yes, they've been kind of hearing it all year, but it hasn't been replicated on the court. So it does take a second to kind of transition, as opposed to guys like Micic, who also got a steal in this game, and other guys, it's a little different. So I just kindly want to just go over a few highlights of Tre Mann from last night, because just like I said, his instinctual defense is what I really enjoyed. So let's go ahead and look at it. So as you see here on this first play, and yeah, the setup's a little different. I'm sorry you got to see like my recording equipment back there, but I'm doing this like in a different way. So let me know if you like this. This really isn't a film breakdown. It's just something I noticed last night, and I really want to talk about it. And plus, the whole game by game kind of covering is not really my thing. I like kind of just talking about whatever comes to mind. So just covering game by game is not typically my thing. So that's why I decided I wanted to do this video. But anyway. So as you can see right here, Tre Mann is like manning the paint, and no pun intended. And you have, who is it? Too Many Cameras right here. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but that's his nickname, is Too Many Cameras. And then this looks like Chris Murray, but I can't quite tell. Brandon Miller technically would be back on Too Many Cameras here, and then Tre Mann is essentially supposed to go ahead and guard this person. Now, why this is important is because while Tre Mann is only like 6'3", or 6'4", however, I don't know. I've seen, honestly, his height go all over the place from 6'3" to 6'5". But the point is, while Tre Mann is right here manning the paint, you don't want him necessarily out in this corner, because then that leaves it open. And yes, he's small, but at least someone's being there is better than no one being there. So having him kind of being there, but also able to get to the corner, I'll take it. And then also, a thing you got to think about is, if anyone's able to make this pass, if Anthony Simons, I believe who that is able to throw this ball from here to here before Tre Mann can even close out, and then Chris Murray makes the shot, hands up to him. You did a good job. So I think, you're willing to live with that, especially 51-38. So let's just see how, I know how this plays out because I kind of looked at it, but let's see how it plays out. I wish I could make it go the replay. Can I make it go any slower? Speed. Can we do half speed? All right. So we're doing this half speed, and is it even playing? Okay, so as you see right here, he throws it, and then Tre Mann's right there. That is, to me, instinctual defense that we were not getting before. So if we start the video from the beginning, you have Anthony Simons right here. I can't really tell who that is right here, but Cody Martin's on them. Anthony Simons, like I said, either one, can't see across the court to know that I keep saying Chris Murray, it might not be Chris Murray, but to see Chris Murray is here, or two, it's just not, obviously, with the whole Hornets team right here, it's just not the most, ideal pass. So he goes ahead and is like, I'm going to go ahead and get it to this. And that looks like Jeremy Grant. Okay, so that even makes more sense why, he's looking to feed Jeremy Grant, especially with Anthony Simons having the game he was having and Jeremy Grant having the game he was having. So he tries to dish it to Jeremy Grant over the top, over Cody Martin, because, of course, Jeremy Grant has the size. But then Tre Mann's able to rotate over and get the ball. And that's not the last time we'll see Tre Mann do that. And then, of course, the Hornets go on a break. I don't remember if this ends up in a score or not, but still, that is just great instinctual defense. And I think he's placed perfectly because he can play that corner to Chris Murray. He can kind of man the paint. And like I said, yes, he's small and he's obviously not a center, but it's better to have someone there than no one. And then also, as we saw, he was able to anticipate that pass over to Jeremy Grant and just watch. That he was just able to watch, because just the likelihood of that ball going across court is just is almost slim to none. So let me go ahead, and he's just watching the whole way, almost like a free safety, and he's able to come up. And I don't even think Jeremy Grant doesn't even know he's there. So excellent defense by Tre Mann on that part. Let's look at this next play. I don't actually know what happens here, so I skimmed through these, but some of these aren't. You know how NBA the website will label a shot as, oh, he defended this shot well, but he's really just standing there. So I have to make sure it's not one of those. But yeah, we see Tre Mann right here. Let's see what happens. He's sitting in. Okay, so yeah, this is the corner three. Okay, I did see this one. So there's nothing really special here. If anything, it's just more of the fact that Matisse Thybulle is trying to drive on Nick Richards. One, I'm not trusting a Matisse Thybulle like shot. It is what it is. He's as great of a defender as he is, as we saw last night. He's not this all-worldly scorer. So him driving on Nick Richards, I'll take it. If he makes it, he makes it. But he's either one, going to take it and miss. I mean, two, take it and make it, or three, he's going to pass out. And what's more likely is the miss and the pass out. So you can, and I like what Tre Mann's doing here because he's kind of playing the ball, but not to the point where he's giving up defensive position. So Matisse Thybulle drives and he quickly kicks it to Chris Murray. But you see Tre Mann's eyes, and I know it may not be the most visually pleasing thing, but you see Tre Mann's eyes watching the ball, because so many times what happens is players watch the ball, but they're like over here. So like, for example, what Brandon Miller is doing right here, it's fine. That's fine ball watching. But sometimes the ball will be like at the perimeter in like Damian Lillard's hands. Everybody's watching the ball, then cut. Brandon Miller's person's way up there. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of understanding the situation and knowing when to ball watch. So ball watching in this situation, I think is perfectly fine because he's trying to play the ball. And yes, he doesn't get it, but he doesn't. You could tell that he didn't overly commit. So he swings hard for sure to try to get the ball, but he didn't overly commit and quickly adjust. He's able to quickly adjust, turn his eyes over to Chris Murray, and then close out. And then Chris Murray misses, who's a pretty good three-point shooter. So just small things that we're just seeing from guys like Tre Mann that we're not seeing, anywhere else as far as what we get on the court from previous guys. So Tre Mann here, I think if anything, I think this is one of those ones where it's not really him defending. But I still, even though it's not important, I still like how he's able to play like screens, because Tre Mann, I've noticed that he does a good job of defending the screens. He's able to play under, play over, whatever you need him to do. I think he does a good job of getting through screens. I think he does an exceptional job. Let's just kind of fast forward. Okay, so let's see. So Tre Mann. Oh, this is the steal. Okay, so we'll go back, and maybe I kind of want it to be like an initial reaction, but also, I mean, I see how that, you would want to be more prepared. But Cody Martin, I keep wanting to call him Caleb for some reason. Cody Martin goes up, he tips the ball. Jeremy Grant, the ball's on the ground. They're all trying to get it. Jeremy Grant gets it, and then look, I'm pretty sure you can see that Jeremy Grant sees Chris Murray. Instead of kind of just sitting there, it's just the instinct of just let me try to make a play. And so he sticks out his hand, boom, he tips it, and he's able to go down the court. And I don't remember let's see if this ends in a score. It might even cut off before then. Okay, this one was a score. So yeah, Tre Mann just exceptional instincts here, because he could have just sat there and be like, well, I'm just defend him. Because we've seen that in the past. They're like, okay, well, this person's right here. Either it's like they're expecting the other person to go guard someone, or whoever the case may be. I feel like one thing Tre Mann understands is this wasn't his person. This was Cody Martin's person. So, of course, if I'm helping, that means my person is open. So let me lean, instead of just sitting here defending, thinking Cody Martin's going to go somewhere else, or, oh, let's just double team Jeremy Grant, I'm actually going to try to make a play. And then, of course, he makes the play. So good job by Tre Mann there. This one I know for a fact is just the defense, but there's one particular play, one more. This one might be it, where we have, yes, I'm pretty sure this is it. Let's hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna just fast forward. Yeah, this is the other steal that I really like from Tre Mann. This play right here is what made me kind of want to make this video. So Anthony Simons at the top on Miles Bridges. DeAndre Ayton tries to set a screen. You have too many cameras right here who isn't that good of a three-point shooter. Now, he's not someone I would necessarily just leave open, but it's not like he's this knockdown three-point shooter. So DeAndre Ayton is rolling, and then Anthony Simons kind of plays it off, and he doesn't think that Ayton's going to get open. But everybody done shifted upward. Nick Richards shifted upward. Miles Bridges kind of dropped down a little bit, but not enough. As you see DeAndre Ayton has so much room. Jeremy Grant sees that, and also what you're thinking. Even if you're Jeremy Grant, I can't sit here and say he saw Tre Mann, but I can say that if he did, I'm thinking Ayton's going to be able to take Tre Mann. I mean, I say what you want about Ayton, but literally the physical size difference is a chance I'm willing to take if I'm Jeremy Grant. So he goes ahead and tries to get it to DeAndre Ayton, and as you see, Tre Mann once again, and we talked about it earlier. This over here in the corner, right here, if you can make that pass and he can get that shot off, I'll take it. But overall, I'm just not expecting that to happen. So good job with Tre Mann here, just reacting. Because this is the thing. What has happened to me in the past from watching this team is that we ball watch, but we don't act. So they're watching the ball, but not making a play. And then their person cuts on them or anything. At least to me, and I mean, we can say that, you know, it still was ball watching at the end of the day. But to me, at least he went to make a play. So even if he fails on his play, he's trying to make a play, and it just so happened not to work out. In other situations we've seen, they will ball watch, but literally just stand there, let DeAndre Ayton get position, get in the paint, and go up. Tre Mann's willing to, because this could be a foul, you know, depending on the ref. I don't think it's a foul, but we all know how, one, fouls have been called for Charlotte, and then two, just how the NBA has been with foul calling in general. I think Tre Mann just did an excellent job of just anticipating his pass and stealing it. DeAndre Ayton I don't think he had any idea he was there, and then boom, we're on the break. So overall, like I said, I'm not sitting here advocating saying Tre Mann's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. I'm not sitting here saying that previous guys like Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington didn't make plays. I'm not here to say any of that. But what I am saying is that to have a guy on your team who is not necessarily known as a defender, and I'm going to get this line off. I don't know if y'all were able to see the line, but on my screen there was a line. I'm not sitting here saying he's just this amazing perimeter defender, but I am saying that instinctually I think he's much further along than I've anticipated, and also I think he's just doing a good job of just acting on what he feels like is the right basketball play. Sometimes it felt as though as a team we were timid. I mean, I get it. You're losing a bunch of games. You're getting blown out most of the time. You start to question yourself and say, what am I like? What can I do? Anything I do may turn into a bad result. Tre Mann kind of doesn't have that, at least not to my knowledge. One, coming from OKC, and two, just being new to the team. And since he's been on the team has been good. So he doesn't have that like second guess of, oh, everything we've done so far is wrong, we're getting blown out constantly. He doesn't have that recollection. So I think that allows him to kind of be a little more assertive on the defensive end. And if anything, if you've been a Charlotte Hornets fan long enough, you understand and probably agree that that's all we're looking for right now. I mean, I know it's fun to say we might make the play-in. I know it's fun to think about the playoffs, but considering where we've came from and the talent that we have, if we weren't able to execute, this is just the small stuff we want to see. And I think this is small stuff that's going to build into a team of a winning caliber. We just have to wait until we get there. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If this video was a little different, let me know if you like it. Let me know if you dislike it. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.